This is the tutorial film for the Cromwell self-assessment or peer assessment activity undertaken by students at Plymouth School. This particular assessment is assessing the students on their ability to apply the skill of historical inquiry and the skill of interpretation. And the task that they've undertaken in class has consisted of 3 questions. Question 1, question 2, question 3. Questions 1 and 2 are dealing with the skill of historical inquiry, and question 3 is dealing with the skill of interpretation. What we would like students to do is use this format with which they are familiar to mark either their own work or that of one of their fellow students, to identify the level appropriate to the student's response, and to explain why the award of the grade that they've given has been given by them. Now, students are allowed to issue whole levels, level 3, level 4, level 5, or they're prepared to break that down even further into more detail. They can award levels 3.2, 3.5, 3.8, 4.2, 4.5, 4.8, and so on and so forth. When the work is marked, I would like them to identify down here what level they have awarded and explain why they have awarded it. The best way in which they can do this is to actually lift the statements from the level descriptors. So, for example, a level 4 has been awarded because the student has provided facts. There is example of quotes provided in the answer, and I can identify examples of evidence. That task needs to be repeated for question 2, giving the grade, lifting the relevant statements from the descriptors, and awarding a level. The average grade of question 1 and question 2 can be the grade awarded for historical inquiry down here. Please note that question 2 provides the opportunity to stretch to level 6, whereas question 1 only provides the opportunity to stretch to level 5. As you can see, the questions rise in the level of challenge. How do sources A and B disagree about Cromwell? Why do sources A and B give different impressions about Cromwell? The why questions being higher order thinking than the how questions. Question 3, again, awards up to level 6. Students have to identify the most useful of the sources that they've been provided with and explain their reasons why. This is the most challenging question of all, and this is the question for the interpretation skill. Again, underneath, award the appropriate level, use the words in the level descriptors, and explain why the choice of level has been awarded. When that's completed, a list of as many things that the candidate, the student, has done well at, and underneath here, things that the student can do to improve. Now, obviously, the easiest way to do this is to look at the level that the student has achieved and be guided by the requirements of the next level up. If I can remind you, the historical inquiry skill requires the average mark of questions 1 and 2, and the interpretation skill, the mark awarded in question 3. Finally, a brief summary underneath, pulling together all of the improvements that can be undertaken and what needs celebrating in order to improve future work.